How are we in April? How are we just 3 games away from the playoffs and this type of stuff is still happening with NBA officiating? I'm not even a Lakers fan, but what just happened completely pissed me off. We were just watching one of the most entertaining games of the season with 2 of the teams that could come out of the West, and in a 1-point game, an official decides to toss Luca, giving him a second technical for trash talking to a fan thinking it was aimed at him. When can we finally just take emotions out of reffing and just call the actual basketball game? It's ridiculous, and if you're Adam Silver, why on earth would you want an employee ruining such an entertaining game for literally no reason? I have a lot to talk about in this video. I want to talk about what all just happened, how the Lakers played up to that Luka ejection, and I also want to talk about where the Lakers are right now as a team with the playoffs on the horizon, and what they proved over the last week or so, taking on some of the NBA's top teams. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Alright, so if you didn't get to watch this game, just know you missed a great one through 3 quarters. Going into the 4th, it was a 1-possession game, and then Luka got a tough bucket. He looked over to a fan, started trash talking. That fan was kind of chirping at him all game. You could hear it come in and out of the feed a little bit, and you could kind of see him going back and forth. But this time, the ref thought that trash talk was aimed at him, so he took it upon himself to eject Luka from the game, ruining what was such a good back and forth affair. And I'm not just gonna flat out say that the Thunder do benefit from officiating, but very often I see memes and I just see trolls kind of pointing out random plays where the Thunder get foul calls for no reason. But again, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, because every fan base for every team, for every sport in existence, thinks that the refs have an agenda against their team. But let's look at this play right here. SGA crosses right. Austin Reeves did not even touch him. How is this a foul? Like, the ref is right there. What did he see? How in any world is this a foul? This stuff right here is ridiculous. This is why people stop watching the NBA. But yeah, I still am just dumbfounded how Luka got this second tech, because he didn't do anything. LeBron was stunned, Vanderbilt was stunned, everyone on the court was stunned. It was crazy. And I do got to give credit to the Thunder because they took full advantage of Luka being gone. They pretty much blew the Lakers out the rest of the way, and losing Luka should not be an excuse to flat out just fall apart. But at the end of the day, he is the Lakers' best player. He is their young superstar. He's the one that is the future of this team. And losing him obviously is going to have a big effect, no matter how you put it, even with LeBron on the court. But yeah, like I said, up to the point of that ejection, the Lakers played really well. They were competing. It was a back and forth game. So I want to break down some of the highlights from this one. And we all know the Lakers are capable of beating this team because they just absolutely annihilated them in their last matchup. And the Thunder were looking for a revenge today. So this was not going to be an easy game to come in and win, even with the Thunder having that 1 seed locked up. So right here we got Luka backing down Dort. Then we have Jackson Hayes kind of picking off LeBron's defender. LeBron comes running in, but Hartenstein picks him up. So Luka has a one-on-one matchup, but he decides to swing it over to Austin Reeves up top, who drills the 3. And this is going to be huge in the playoffs. If Austin Reeves can knock down his open shots, I think the Lakers are pretty much unbeatable, because we all know LeBron and Luka are going to ramp up the intensity, and they are 2 of the smartest players in the NBA. And that third guy that is always going to be unaccounted for is Austin Reeves, and Luka and LeBron are going to find him. Next up, I love this action right here. Austin Reeves starts to play with the ball up top. He crosses left. He throws it to Hayes, who's cutting, and then Hayes gives it back out to DFS, who drills the 3. This is just simple basketball, but this is the way that basketball should be played. You don't have to overcomplicate things. Make 1 pass, make 2 passes, make as many passes as you want. But I often see guys pass up good shots to try to create a great one, when really they had it right there and they just should have took it. And that is exactly what was the case here. DFS was wide open. He knocked it down. He didn't try to keep swinging it. He ended the play right there. Now here, once again, Luka showed off the great vision that he has. He drives right, kind of bad spacing between him and Reeves, but once he draws the 2 defenders and gets trapped, he swings it across his body all the way across court to DFS, who knocks down another 3. And then this play right here is why everyone calls this guy Luka Magic. He pretty much just creates his own shot. I'm not sure how this went in, but this is just what Luka does, and it's what he's done his whole entire career. And because he's able to knock down these shots, it creates so many opportunities for his teammates like we saw in the previous play, because when Luka drives, he pretty much has to get double teamed or else he's gonna make some ridiculous shot like that. So that is why everyone else gets to eat off the attention that Luka draws. Now moving on to way later in the game, I want to show you this play right here, because Luka starts with the ball up top, and even 10 feet from behind the 3-point line, he draws a double team, which just opens up the floor for everyone else. He throws it to Hayes, who then has a cutting Vanderbilt. He doesn't really see it though, but nonetheless, that was there. That can be executed in the playoffs, but he still makes a good pass, finding Gabe Vincent in the corner, who then cuts in after getting Chet Holmgren to bite, and then he throws it to Hayes, who is able to finish with ease. This is a great action, great passing. I'm sure JJ Redick was fired up, and I know Jackson Hayes was. Looking at some of the numbers from this game, the Lakers did lose by 16, but who knows what would have happened if Luka got to stay in the game. Unfortunate the way all that unfolded. Obviously, I'm frustrated, but it is still the regular season. Hopefully, the Lakers got that kind of stuff out of the way now. Hopefully, nothing like that happens in the playoffs, because that would be an absolute atrocity. But nonetheless, Dorian Finney-Smith played 31 minutes. He had 12 points with 2 rebounds and 2 assists. That's exactly what you want out of him in terms of stats. Jackson Hayes had 7 points with 6 rebounds and 2 assists. Okay night. He definitely capitalized off of some of the attention that Luka and LeBron drew. Luka had 23 points with 3 rebounds and 5 assists. I bet he could have got close to 30 if he wasn't ejected, and he was +6 in terms of plus minus. Austin Reeves played 38 minutes, and he had 24 points with 5 rebounds and 5 assists, but he was -19 on the floor. Him and LeBron were both pretty bad in terms of plus minus, but I'm not going to look into that because they've been so good all season long. And LeBron had 28, 7, and 3. And again, for LeBron, I know his defensive intensity isn't necessarily there right now, but the season is unwinding, and he is completely preparing for the playoffs. That's what he's pretty much done his entire career. I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but he always manages his energy prioritizing the playoffs. In terms of the bench, not too much to write home about. Jared Vanderbilt had 8 points and 12 rebounds. He had a solid game, but besides that, Goodwin had 6, Connect had 3, Vincent had 5. Really not too much production in terms of scoring. The Lakers now have 3 games left. They play Dallas. That's going to be an interesting one because the whole trade thing and stuff. Luka is going to be making his return to Dallas. I think Luka would be playing in that game because the Lakers are still fighting for their official seeding, but I know the priorities, like I said, are completely on the playoffs, but still, that's going to be an interesting storyline. Can't wait to hear the chants. Then they play Houston, and then they play Portland. I would love to see the Lakers win 2 out of the final 3 games just to go into the playoffs with some momentum. But yeah, that was a crazy game. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below about this game and also the ejection, because that is what everyone's talking about. But enough of me yapping. Here's what some of the guys had to say in their post-game interviews.
What did you see kind of in that interaction, and how did that impact the rest of the game?
Yes. It was a weird couple minutes after that, starting with the ejection. I don't know why the ref was taking it personal. He had already gave Luka one, and Luka knew that, and Luka was going back and forth at that time with a fan that was sitting courtside, like Luka does, and fans get to talk out of their mind, whatever the case may be, and Luka was going back and forth, and the ref took it upon himself to think it was, verse him or whatever the case may be. But then another T on Vando after a block shot, and the game was just weird as hell after that moment.
That's really all I got for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe, because your support truly does mean the world. And also, let me know what you'd like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.